My kids both wanted to quit karate long before I actually let them. And I really should have listened to them sooner. I know the advice out there is don't let kids quit. If you let them quit, they're going to be quitters, right? They're going to be weak. They're going to be lazy. They're going to sit around and do nothing. We want them to toughen up. We want them to follow through with things once they've started. And I bought into all of that. And I've always been like that. When I start on a path, I don't want to quit. And I get stubborn about it. And sometimes I will stay on a path far longer than I should because I have this stubborn, desire to not quit ever. And I've done that where I've been, taking university courses or whatever path, and I stick with it because I think I should, and I don't want to quit, but I'm not happy, and it's no longer the right fit for me. So sticking with something and not quitting isn't necessarily good if it's the wrong path for us. And I really see that now. So for me, I would never quit, right? And I love karate. Karate became this amazing outlet for me, struggling with grief over my mom's cancer and, struggling with stress and all sorts of things. And karate was great. And for both of my kids at first, it was an awesome fit. They both loved it. My youngest struggled with shyness and karate helped her come out of her shell. My oldest was being bullied and karate helped them become more assertive. But then my youngest lost interest. And my oldest, over time, it took a little bit longer for them, but they started to lose interest too. And I had a hard time with it. I didn't want them to give something up that was originally really important to them. That was really driven by what I wanted. I wanted them to be martial artists. I wanted that. Karate was my idea. I got us all into it in the beginning. They didn't ask to try martial arts ever. It never occurred to them. I came up with the idea. I thought it would be a good fit for all of us. It helped me with my grief, and it did help both of them with shyness and bullying and all of that. So it was a really good fit, but eventually it wasn't a good fit for them anymore, but it continued to be a good fit for me. But I wanted that for all of us. I wanted to have something that we all shared, a passion we could do together. I wanted that time together. I also felt proud of my karate kids. I had that, it's like a little badge of honor. My kids are in karate, woo, we're a karate family, it's super cool. And I wanted that for them, right? And so my passion for karate got all caught up in, my view of what was best for them. I'm still training because I love it. And so both my kids now, occasionally they'll kick each other or kick the heavy bag we have at home or do some partner stuff with me, but they lost their drive for it. And I finally see it. I finally get it. And I really wish that I hadn't pushed them so hard because all it did was strain our relationship. It was me putting pressure on my kids when that whole time they just wanted me to see them. They just wanted me to see them and hear them and see like they're not into it. It's my thing. It's not their thing. It was their thing at first, but it was probably more my thing than anything in the beginning, but they got caught up in it and they enjoyed it. It was fun. But then it was my thing. It was my life. And they just kind of continued on because of that. Maybe they didn't want to hurt my feelings. I think that was probably a big part of it. They didn't want to hurt my feelings. They didn't want to let me down. They didn't want to disappoint me. And that sucks. That sucks that I subconsciously or not put that pressure on them to make me happy. And I never want that. I never want my kids to do something to make me happy. I want them to do something that makes them happy. And so that's when I finally said, okay, no, like this was the right choice for you guys to quit. And I'm so sorry. I said to both of them, I'm sorry that I pushed you as long as I did because it was about me. I made it about me. I made it about what I wanted for them. And we think that because we create our kids, we think that we own them in this certain way, or like I formed you, I made you. They're their own people. They're not mini versions of us. They're not. They're their own people. And if our kids are exactly the opposite of us, great. More variety, right? Maybe can help open our minds up because we do get a little closed-minded as we get older. It does happen. And, I think, oh, well, I like this, so you should like it too. And I want something we can all do together. We don't have to have that to have a strong relationship. And what will actually give us a strong relationship is if I see my kids for who they are and I accept them without trying to force my interests on them. So that's what I finally accepted and chose to do. And my relationship with my kids is so much stronger now because of it. And the funny thing is, my worries that, they would just be lazy, they're just giving up and they don't have a strong work ethic, they're not going to have that opportunity to build up confidence and assertiveness. They've made their own fun. They're part of this dance group, and they do cosplay and they perform at conventions and fan expos and stuff like that. They're doing a performance this weekend, and they've been working really hard. There's a group of them. They've been practicing these dances. No one told them to do it. No one came up with a schedule for them. No one forced them to be disciplined or committed. No one had any role in it other than them. This group of kids, they've all shown incredible signs of leadership, super strong work ethic. And my kids will train on their own, outside of their group practices. And my youngest, like, she'll be after school, like, okay, I got to work on my dances. No one told her to do it. She'll dance for 2 hours until her feet have blisters. She's like, yeah, okay, I'm tired, I'm sore, but like, I really got to get ready for this performance. And the work ethic my kids have, they came up with their own fun. They came up with their own sport, their own, physical outlet for stress. It's a creative thing for them too. And they feel confident, and like for my youngest who, did struggle with shyness, to want to perform in front of strangers at a fan expo in Vancouver. That's crazy. It's cool, right? But it's like, I didn't have to make her do it. She chose to do it, without my input, without my control, right? So we don't have to be helicopter parents, we don't have to rescue our kids and put them in stuff to make them, become strong, successful people. We don't. And I think a lot of it too is a lot of parents think, not should I put my kid in this? They're thinking, what should I put my kid in? I should put my kid in, okay, they need to be in hockey, they need to be in soccer, they need to be in dance, they need to be in karate. And we have our kids so overscheduled now. When I grew up, I was in, like, my family didn't have a lot of money, so it wasn't really an option to be in, expensive sports where we're traveling everywhere and stuff. But like, I was in brownies and Girl Guides. And then I quit after a while because I was tired of it. But then I did piano lessons, and that was my choice. I wanted to take piano. I had my music teacher at school would come home with me once a week, and we do piano lesson at my house. And I loved it, right? And I worked hard for that. But apart from that, I made my own fun. And I think about now, and that's what I wanted for my kids. I didn't want to overschedule them. They go to school, they come home, they have homework. I didn't want to put them in a whole bunch of after school stuff just to, make them disciplined and make them successful and keep them out of trouble, because I knew that would create stress. Kids need downtime. Kids need time to make their own fun. They need time just to fuck around and do whatever, like, so to speak, okay? Like, they need to just have time for free play or whatever, get outside with their friends, or even if they're online, whatever, they're creating connections. The world is different now. Like, there's nothing wrong with being online, okay? But yeah, we do need to touch grass too, but kids they're intrinsically motivated to do that stuff if we sit back and trust them with that process. But if we're constantly forcing them to do things because we think it's what's best for them, they're never going to find their own path. They're never going to find their own voice. They're just doing it to please us, or they resent us for it. And then they get burnt out. You see kids who are so burnt out from being put in so many after school activities that they don't have time to breathe. They don't have time to just chill and stare at the ceiling or listen to music or talk to their friends, because they're always in something. They're always doing something productive. And then guess what? They're just like us, stressed out, overscheduled, exhausted, waiting for the weekend, working for vacation, working for retirement, can't wait to take a break, miserable in our lives. Like, do we want this for our kids? And if martial arts isn't their thing, it's not their thing. It doesn't have to be. And there's nothing to stop them from picking it up later on in life. Like, you think, okay, well, if I let my kid quit now, that's it for life. Oh my gosh. They're never going to train again. It's like, that's bullshit. I was active as a kid, but then in my teen years, not at all. Like, we went hiking and stuff, but I wasn't really into it. I hated PE. I hated gym in school. I was not an active person, but on my own at about, 18, 19, 20, I started going to the gym on my own. My mom didn't tell me to. No one told me to. I wanted to. I started running daily. I wanted to do that. No one told me to. Okay, I started karate at age 41. No one told me to. No one suggested it. This was my idea. At 41, nothing stopped me. I made that choice. I didn't need a parent putting me in karate to develop what is now a lifelong passion for karate for the rest of my life. I did that on my own. No one forced that path on me. I came up with it on my own. And our kids can do the same if we stand back and trust them with that process and say, whatever you want to do, I support it. I'm here for you. So I really like, this is my opinion. You might not agree, but I really think if your kids want to quit, let them quit. If they're just a little bit like, if they go to the dojo, if they whine before they go there, but when they're actually there, they're happy. Okay, I would encourage them. I would keep nudging them because like when they're happy, when they're there, they're happy. But if they're not into it when they're there, they're not into it. And they don't have to be. They don't have to do that for us. There are other things that they can do. There are other activities that can be good for them too. Martial arts is awesome. I love martial arts, but they're not the only thing that build strength of character. It's not the only activity out there. I'd love if everyone took martial arts, but I don't know, if everyone took martial arts, that might suck actually. It wouldn't be so special because everyone's doing it, right? So I don't know. Martial arts isn't for everyone. It doesn't have to be for everyone, and it doesn't have to be for our kids. When I started karate, my original thing was I was so excited that I thought everyone should take karate, everyone should, and I was kind of annoying, always posting online, rah, 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 you should sign up for the dojo, take a class. Now I see it so differently. It's not for everyone. It's not. Not everyone likes getting kicked and punched. Some of us love it. We love taking it and giving it, but it's not for everyone. Performing isn't for everyone, right? Like wearing a uniform is whatever the excuse. And it might seem like it's just excuses. Oh, I don't like the uniform, or oh, I don't like training. I don't want to go to practice. They're trying to tell you they don't want to do it. So why don't you just listen? They can always pick it up later on. And the more we force it, the more it becomes about us and them. It's a fight between us and them. And it's not about karate or whatever anymore. It's about us trying to control them. It's about us and them, and they're not doing what we want. And oh, why don't you listen to me? Like, no, it's not about us. It's their life. Support them on their path, whatever that looks like. It does not have to look like ours. So that is my rant. If your kids want to quit, this is you and your family and your dynamic, and that's up to you. But for me, it was the right choice for my kids, and I really should have listened a lot sooner. Ultimately, they chose the path that is right for them. And by deciding to no longer force them to do something they didn't want to do, they feel heard and they feel understood. They feel seen, right? And that trust between us, that trust is so much more important than them doing what I think is best for them. That trust is important, and their happiness. They're so much happier now. And that is really the most important thing.